This is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I wanted to read one more thing here, and I'll make this short. I've just done these other videos, about four, I think, at the moment, or three, about Philip Mountbatten, and his mother was Queen Alice Mountbatten, which is Elizabeth's mother-in-law, and they were from Greece, the royal family of Greece, and they were overthrown, and uh, Philip was put in an orange crate and the shipped out in a British warship. While in 41, my father's the real King Edward VIII, who never married Wallis Simpson. That was a total lie. Double was used to marry her. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, sister of George O'Keeffe, the artist. And I was telling about you have to make the Nazis bad, the United States, the paintings that were supposedly stolen, but they can't tell about kidnapping a monarch and torturing me every breath I've taken in this country and lying about my father. And here's Clooney in a movie. It's unreal because it's been done in plain sight. But I was brought over here and given the name of a twin, grew up in a pigsty. Both twins were dead. The abuse is unreal. But I wanted to read this part, and then I'm going to stop. I'm 75 years old, and there's nobody, quite frankly, but God that could correct any wrongs now. It is so much a mess. And the crimes, the extent of the crimes done, deliberate, cold-blooded. The media is controlled by the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Kennedys, the ones that kidnapped me, old Joe Kennedy, ambassador. I put this in the other tapes. But I want to focus on, she would be Elizabeth. Elizabeth is not the legal queen, but she's sitting there. And Philip, therefore, would not be the Duke of Edinburgh, living on my money. But here is what happened. His mother evidently, and nothing against her, I don't mean that. She was locked up and called mentally ill and really done in. Some of this I can tell you most assured that she wasn't mentally ill, so this goes way back. The use probably before the Tesla files of mind control. You could do it with a handset back then, or just a hypnotist. But here is and Alice, Philip's mother, had a really bad time. They used mental illness on her, and she was not mentally ill. Some of the things I've just read, I just picked this up on Google. It's quite frankly because Elizabeth and Philip were visiting D-Day to France and celebrate the downfall of the British is what she's doing, and the kidnapping of me and take down of my father. And you talk about they can't even tell the truth. Why would she bother to not even mention me? I mean, she's not the legal heir, so what's she to hide? I hate to say it, but she's my cousin, and so is he, Philip. And then they put a Philip in here when I was growing up that was kidnapped too. And I put that on other tapes. I'm sure he was. In fact, his father, I'm pretty sure it was O'Sullivan next to Hoover, the FBI assistant FBI director, and he was killed. But anyway, I wanted to read this bit since Elizabeth has stolen and stood by her and her father, and evidently a whole bunch of the Windsors, because part of them are the Freemasons, the New World Order, way up in the Freemasons at the top. These people did this to me, my own family. Here is where Elizabeth, they're calling her the Queen, so I'll read it. She's illegal, she's a traitor, but I've said that. Why has she gone to all lengths to not mention me? The media all promote Elizabeth. She gave away Great Britain right after they kidnapped me. They had my dad then when they kidnapped me. They had my dad and mom, and that was supposed to be the end of it. Elizabeth's father, George the Sixth, my uncle, the illegal SOB, signed documents that were illegal, giving the United States permission to put their bases all over British soil. And now she's going to go celebrate D-Day. That's when they signed war against Germany. Okay, here's where Elizabeth, and I'll just say what I'll read this. The Queen, and they're talking about Elizabeth, gave her mother-in-law a room in Buckingham Palace. This is Prince Philip's mother, Alice. And they go on to talk about, they're making her, she's been made to look like she was mentally ill. They're talking about how she acted and all this. But the point I wanted to make here, too, was they took over my home. They brought me over here in a pigsty and my sons, and I can't even tell you what they did to my sons, the heirs. And it gets into this hideous thing of, like, Game of Thrones. Not a Game of Thrones. They stole it. They stole it from the British. And I had to remind them, only recently are they using my words. The monarch, and she's not, their concern is supposed to be for the British citizens, not to give it all away. But here she's taken over my home, and her and Philip, Mountbatten, gave a room to his mother, Philip's mother. And I hope the world has to see it all, because it's really one ugly mess. They made heroes out of killers. I was just reading some more. I look at all the books that I was reading some more, Googling it here. All the books and all the photos. This is a real photo of my dad. This is him. You won't find many of them anymore that are untouched. This is the imposter. But all the, oh, by the way, I left out Elizabeth here. I don't think I've got it with me right at the moment. Don't see it anyway. Who all live really good off the British and off of my money, my dad's, my kids. And talk about giving to charity. So anyway, I've looked when I've gone to the library. I haven't read them, but I've scanned through all the books that's been written that are lies about my dad. I mean, photos redone. You don't even read about my mother, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. And I did see a photo that of late in a book that was redone. You didn't even see photos of my mother. That wasn't even my mother. And by the way, my mother had owned land on her own out in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills. So my family, the O'Keefes, they've been through a lot if you read the history. A lot's been done to them. So I guess I'll leave it at that. It's too much to even tell. Hideous part is that's still going on, and they've made the good look bad and the bad look good. George, with Roosevelt planning my kidnapping in '39, the King's speech was made about George VI, his uncle that kidnapped me illegally, took over the monarchy, gave it to the United States, took it away from his own brother, and this was a lie. Do you think he didn't know that that wasn't his brother, that wasn't the real king? So this facade has been played out, and nobody's corrected it.